chosen one. You are not here by accident. Heaven has aligned this very moment with precision, pulling you into a revelation meant only for the anointed. You are standing at the threshold of a supernatural shift, a divine wealth transfer that has already begun to move in your direction. The attacks against you were fierce because your blessing is greater. What you are about to hear is not information, it is impartation. Just as Isaiah declares that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, this word comes to awaken your spirit, ignite your faith, and prepare you for the breakthrough already unfolding. Chosen one. While you were resting under heaven's watchful eye, there were people who could not sleep because their spirits were burning with jealousy toward you. They gathered in secret corners, whispering your name with bitterness, trying to engineer outcomes that were never theirs to control. But what they did not understand is that when they touched you, they touched an assignment sealed by the breath of God. Heaven does not negotiate with those who attempt to rewrite a story that was already authored in the higher realms. I've walked through seasons just like this seasons, where I felt pressure without knowing why, heaviness, without explanation and resistance that made no logical sense. And looking back, I now realize those were the exact moments heaven was exposing the enemies I never saw coming. Chapter 1. There are some battles you didn't even know you were fighting, yet you still won. There are attacks you never saw yet. They still fell powerless at your feet. This is because you are not merely protected. You are governed by a divine order that predates every attack launched against you. Your destiny was written before you took your first breath. And anyone who tries to interfere with what God has ordained steps into a judgment they are not built to withstand. I remember a moment in my own life when someone tried to sabotage an opportunity I had waited years for. They plotted in private, believing their whispers could overpower heaven's decree. But the door still opened for me, and every scheme they orchestrated collapsed in their hands. That is how divine protection works, quiet but undefeated. Chosen one. There are individuals who sensed your elevation long before you sensed it yourself. They saw the glow before you recognized the shift. They felt the acceleration around your life, and instead of celebrating, they panicked. They tried to disconnect you from your blessings, confuse your heart, distort your discernment, or distract you from your calling. But what they didn't know was that your spirit had matured in the fire. Your intuition had been sharpened by every betrayal you survived. Your discernment had been strengthened by every storm you walked through. You've developed spiritual eyes that see through illusion, manipulation, and emotional traps. I speak this from experience. The stronger your purpose becomes, the more subtle the opposition grows, and the more fiercely heaven protects you. Chosen one. Heaven has been watching everything. Not just what they did, but why they did it. The jealousy, the insecurity, the entitlement, all of it rose as smoke before the throne. And now the consequences are unfolding with precision. What was intended for you has returned to them with multiplied force. I've seen this happen in real time. I watched people who once mocked my spiritual journey suddenly come face to face with their own collapses. It wasn't about revenge, it was about spiritual law. When you sow destruction, you reap it. When you attack the anointed, the anointing itself defends. This is why some of your enemies are restless now. Some are praying for mercy, not because they love God, but because they fear what is coming. They can feel heaven's hand correcting them. Chosen one. Let me tell you something sacred. The reason you survived what was sent against you is because heaven still has need of you. Your life carries assignments others depend on. Your calling will open doors for people you have never met. Your future union will impact generations, and your purpose work will influence souls beyond your lifetime. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are not unimportant. And I know this personally. There were days when I questioned if my journey mattered, days when I felt invisible, days when I thought nothing was moving. But every time I reached that point, God revealed something, a connection, a breakthrough, a revelation, reminding me that purpose does not pause just because the path feels dark. The same is happening for you now. Chosen one. The attacks against you were never random. They were sent because your elevation is real, your breakthrough is close, and your divine wealth transfer has already begun in the unseen realm. You are stepping into a season where everything that was delayed starts to accelerate. Finances begin to align, relationships come into divine order, opportunities resurface, ideas return with fresh power. This is not wishful thinking. This is heaven's timing. I've lived through moments when I felt stuck for years, only to watch God sweep in and rearrange everything within days. Sudden favor, sudden clarity, sudden open doors. That is the rhythm of divine timing, and you are entering that rhythm now. Chosen one. Understand this. The reason the enemy fought so hard is because heaven is preparing to bless you just as fiercely. What was meant to break you actually refined you. What was meant to silence you actually awakened you. What was meant to delay you actually aligned you. This is a supernatural turnaround season, and you are not watching this video by coincidence. You were summoned into this moment because heaven is signaling your shift. You are stepping into the chapter your enemies tried to erase, but it is written in ink they cannot touch. Chosen one. Before we go deeper, you must understand something essential about your journey. Everything you have walked through, even the invisible battles, has been shaping you for the exact moment you are stepping into right now. Nothing was wasted. Not the betrayal, not the confusion, not the delays, not even the tears you cried in silence. Every experience has been refining your spirit, strengthening your discernment, sharpening your intuition, and preparing your character for the weight of the blessing heaven is about to place in your hands. I know what it feels like to wonder if all the warfare had a purpose. I've lived through seasons where the struggle felt pointless until God finally revealed why He allowed it. And when He did, everything suddenly made sense. Chosen one, heaven never allows spiritual attacks unless something greater is being birthed in you. The intensity of the warfare you faced was a thermometer measuring the magnitude of your next elevation. You were never under attack because you were weak, but because you were rising. You were not targeted because you lacked value, but because you carry influence in the spirit realm. Even when you didn't know you were advancing, the enemy did. That is why certain people felt threatened by you before you even understood the fullness of who you are. Something about your presence agitated their darkness. Something about your purity exposed what was unhealed within them. This is why you will always feel different. Chosen one, you were marked long before you realized it. And here is the truth: many won't tell you. Sometimes the enemy uses people who are closest to us because those are the individuals with the easiest access to our hearts. Some of the pain you endured didn't come from strangers, but from those you once trusted. I've been there. I know the sting of having someone smile to your face while secretly hoping for your downfall. I know what it feels like to support someone wholeheartedly, only to discover they were quietly tearing you down. But those experiences didn't break me. They awakened me. They taught me how to guard my spirit, how to move in wisdom, and how to discern the intentions behind the masks people wear. And they are teaching you the same. Chosen one, while others were plotting heaven, was positioning you. While they were working in secrecy, God was working openly in your favor. Doors they tried to close swung back open. Opportunities they tried to disrupt realigned themselves. Relationships they tried to sabotage were corrected by heaven's hand. When someone attempts to interfere with what God is building, the structure doesn't collapse, the attacker does. This is not about revenge. This is about divine order. Heaven will not allow anyone to hijack what was designed for your destiny. And if you think you've seen God intervene before, chosen one, you have no idea what is coming next. Because you are entering a season where the acceleration is not just spiritual, it is financial, relational, and generational. This is the type of shift where God restores what you thought was lost and multiplies what you thought was ruined. I've experienced sudden reversals, moments when debt vanished, opportunities appeared from nowhere, and unexpected provision found me at the exact moment I needed it. And I speak this with the same prophetic certainty. You are stepping into a divine transfer where resources favor and opportunities chase you down because the timing is finally right. Heaven withheld certain blessings, not because you were unworthy, but because the environment around you was unsafe. Now that the interference has been removed, the blessing can finally flow. Chosen one. Your spiritual enemies didn't just attack your life, they attacked your future. They attempted to target your connections, your finances, your inspiration, and even your health, because those are the pillars that support your purpose. But what they underestimated was the resilience of your soul. They miscalculated the strength of your spirit. They assumed that sending confusion would stop you, but confusion only pushed you deeper into prayer. They believed exhaustion would make you give up, but exhaustion made you lean on God more fiercely. They thought emotional manipulation would distort your identity, but all it did was reveal who was truly for you and who wasn't. They didn't break you, they exposed themselves. And now that exposure is becoming their downfall. Some of them are dealing with consequences that reflect the very things they tried to place on you. Financial drought. Creative emptiness, relational collapse, anxiety, sleeplessness, fear. This is not your doing, this is spiritual law. You reap what you sow. When they sent destruction toward the anointed, the destruction simply returned home. What they intended for you has become their own harvest. And chosen one, you must release any guilt, sadness, or confusion over this. You did not wish for their downfall. You simply followed your path, and the universe handled the rest. But here is the most powerful truth. You did not just survive the attack, you evolved because of it. You gained spiritual authority you didn't have before. You developed a clarity that cannot be clouded again. You awakened gifts that were dormant until the pressure activated them. You became someone the enemy will think twice before approaching again. This is why heaven allowed it not to destroy you, but to introduce you to the version of yourself that is ready for the destiny ahead. Chosen one. The interference is over. The heaviness is lifting. The warfare has broken. You are stepping into clarity, alignment, and divine timing. And part 3 will reveal what heaven is releasing next. Chosen one. Now that heaven has cleared the interference around your life, something powerful is beginning to unfold in the unseen realm. You may not feel it fully yet, but the atmosphere around your destiny has shifted. The spiritual congestion that once made everything feel heavy, slow, or confusing has broken. What blocked you before cannot block you now. What resisted you will now make room for you. I've lived through these shifts where one day everything felt impossible and the next day doors opened as if they were waiting for me. That is the season. You are entering the sudden season, the accelerated season, the divinely orchestrated season. Chosen one. What was once a battlefield is becoming a pathway. What was once warfare is becoming confirmation. Every attack that was meant to distract you has become evidence of how important your calling truly is. You didn't go through all of this for nothing. There is a higher reason, a divine purpose behind every bruise, every betrayal, every moment of exhaustion you push through. Heaven has been rewiring you, strengthening you, and preparing you for a level of influence and responsibility you would not have been able to carry before. I remember thinking at one point, why is all of this happening to me? And only later did I realize that God was teaching me how to recognize spiritual patterns, how to discern motives, and how to hear His voice above the noise. The same awakening is happening in you. Chosen one. You must understand this. The enemy did not attack your present, they attacked your future. They sensed the blessing forming around you, the divine connections approaching the financial shift. Heaven was preparing the partnership that would multiply your purpose. They saw the glow before you felt it. They saw your elevation before you believed it. That is why the warfare came so intensely and so suddenly. But what they failed to realize is this: when you are chosen, your future cannot be stolen. It cannot be altered. It cannot be rerouted. Heaven has already sealed what belongs to you, and no ritual, no manipulation, no jealousy can rewrite what was written in the higher courts. Chosen one. Your divine union, whether it has appeared yet or is still on its way, is wrapped in supernatural protection. This connection is not casual, it is purposeful. It carries generational impact. It carries spiritual assignment. Heaven has invested too much into aligning this partnership for anyone to sabotage it. Some of the warfare you faced was specifically aimed at this union because the enemy knew the power it would release once aligned. I've seen relationships come under heavy attack right before breakthrough because the promise of that connection threatened the plans of darkness. And yet, what was spiritually ordained always found its way back stronger and more aligned than before. The same will be true for you. Chosen one. Your finances are also shifting in this season. The blocks that once made earning feel difficult, inconsistent, or unpredictable are dissolving. Heaven is preparing you for a level of overflow, not just so you can live comfortably, but so you can fulfill your mission. Prosperity for the chosen is not about luxury, it is about assignment. It is about funding the vision, supporting others, stepping into opportunities without fear, and having the freedom to walk fully in purpose. I've experienced moments where I went from scarcity to sudden provision, where unexpected doors opened simply because heaven said now. That same now moment is rising over your life. Chosen one. You may notice your ideas returning, your creativity, awakening your motivation, stirring again. That is not random, that is restoration. The fog that once clouded your mind was spiritual interference, not lack of ability. And now that heaven has removed that interference, your inspiration is coming back with strength and clarity. Watch how your thoughts sharpen. Watch how your dreams intensify. Watch how your purpose becomes more obvious, more magnetic, more urgent. This is heaven placing you back into alignment. Chosen one. Some of the people who worked against you are now facing consequences, and you may feel a mixture of emotions about that: sadness, confusion, even compassion. But understand this: divine justice is not about revenge. It is about balance. It is about spiritual law. It is about protecting the chosen so purpose can unfold without interference. You did not cause their downfall. Their actions did. You are not responsible for their consequences. Heaven is. Chosen one. The most important thing for you right now is this: do not look back. Do not question whether you deserved the blessing that is coming. Do not doubt your worthiness or your readiness. You survived what was meant to break you. You passed a spiritual test many never recover from. You endured warfare that would have destroyed someone without your calling, your resilience, your destiny. Chosen one, this is your moment to rise, not timidly, not silently, but boldly. Heaven has spoken. The path before you is opening, and in part 4 you will understand the full magnitude of what is being released over your life. Chosen one. Now that heaven has shifted the atmosphere around your life, there is a deeper revelation. You must understand, the spiritual realm has already moved on your behalf. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is no longer just a possibility, it is an active unfolding. You're not preparing to step into victory, you're already standing in the early stages of it. Some breakthroughs arrive quietly like a whisper before the wind changes, and others arrive like thunder cracking open the sky. What is coming to you carries both whispers and thunder. I felt these moments in my own journey, the quiet signs that something had shifted, followed by unmistakable evidence that God had moved. Chosen. One part of your elevation involves separation. You may have noticed certain people pulling away, disappearing, or revealing sides of themselves you never expected. This is not rejection, it is spiritual pruning. Heaven is removing individuals who cannot journey with you into the next dimension of your purpose. Some people were allowed into your life only for a season because your growth required lessons that their presence uncovered. But now that the lesson is complete, their access is being revoked. I've walked through this too, wondering why certain connections dissolved, until God showed me they were never meant to witness my harvest. Not everyone can handle the weight of your blessing, and heaven knows this even when you don't. Chosen one, your heart has been through battles that would have hardened most people, yet you remain soft enough to hear God, patient enough to wait on your timing, and humble enough to keep growing. This is one of the greatest signs of your anointing. You did not let the warfare turn you cold. You did not let betrayal make you bitter. You did not let disappointment convince you that God had forgotten you. Your heart endured what the enemy hoped would break it. That is why heaven is now entrusting you with more clarity, more influence, more resources, more protection. Your heart passed the test. Chosen one. Let's talk about the spiritual paranoia your enemies are experiencing. What they sent toward you has returned to them with force, and they know it. They can sense the spiritual consequences tightening around their decisions. They feel exposed, unprotected, and vulnerable because the very forces they tried to weaponize have now turned against them. But this is not your concern. You are not called to rescue them from laws they willingly violated. Spiritual justice is unfolding not because God is cruel, but because heaven protects what it has ordained. When someone attempts to sabotage a divine assignment, judgment is not a punishment, it is a correction. I've seen people who once mocked me suddenly face storms they couldn't outrun. And just like in your situation, God whispered, "This is not yours to carry." Chosen one. This new season requires one thing from you: alignment. Heaven is pouring out instructions, ideas, dreams, strategies, and confirmations. Pay attention to the thoughts that suddenly reappear, the desires that wake up again, the opportunities that feel different from before. These are not coincidences. These are heaven's signals guiding you toward your next chapter. In my life, every major elevation began with a simple nudge, a feeling, a dream, a small instruction that didn't seem important at first. But when I followed it, everything shifted. This is exactly how heaven is guiding you right now. Chosen one, your financial landscape is beginning to transform. The drought you experienced was not lack, it was protection. Heaven was withholding certain blessings until the environment around you was safe. Now that the spiritual interference has been dismantled, you will notice unexpected provision, restored opportunities, and renewed productivity. What once felt blocked will now feel effortless. Divine provision is not just money, it is timing, favor, alignment, and supernatural acceleration. I've seen God bring resources in ways I could never have predicted, just to remind me that my supply does not come from people, jobs, or systems. It comes from Him. The same source that sustained me is now preparing to overflow in your life. Chosen one. One of the most incredible things happening right now is the activation of your purpose with newfound clarity. The ideas you thought were gone are returning. The dreams you once dismissed are resurfacing. The vision you thought was too big is suddenly starting to feel possible again. This is heaven restoring what was stolen, renewing what was drained, and reigniting what was dimmed. Purpose does not die, it waits. And now your purpose is waking up. Chosen one, your elevation will not be quiet. Those who doubted you will watch. Those who opposed you will witness. Those who underestimated you will be silenced by what God does next. Not out of pride, but out of divine demonstration. Heaven is about to make it clear that you were chosen all along. And in part 5, you will see how this elevation transforms not only your journey, but the destiny of those connected to you. Chosen one, as heaven continues revealing the magnitude of what has been unfolding around your life, there is a deeper layer of this story you must understand. Your elevation is not simply about God blessing you, it is about God repositioning you. What is happening now is strategic, intentional, and divinely timed. You are being shifted into a place where your voice, your presence, and your influence will carry weight in ways they never have before. I've walked into seasons like this where nothing in the natural looked different at first, but everything in the spiritual realm had already changed. That is exactly where you stand today, on the edge of a life that is about to unfold in ways you once thought impossible. Chosen. 1. One of the marks of divine elevation is that heaven begins to synchronize every area of your life. The relationships meant to strengthen you start appearing. The opportunities that match your assignment begin aligning. The doors that once felt sealed shut start opening effortlessly. And the desires in your heart that once felt too big suddenly become attainable. This synchronization is a sign that your spirit, your destiny, and your environment are coming into agreement. I felt this kind of alignment before, where people, timing, and purpose all converged at once. And I can tell you with certainty, when heaven orchestrates your steps, nothing can interfere. Chosen one. Heaven is also preparing to release you from limitations you didn't even realize were there. Some of the resistance you felt was not from the enemy, it was God preventing you from settling in places that could not contain your calling. There were opportunities you wanted that didn't open because they were too small. There were relationships you prayed for that didn't work because they were not equipped to grow with you. There were environments you tried to fit into that could never support the weight of your purpose. I've learned over time that God's no is often the greatest protection, even when it feels painful. And now that you are stepping into a season where heaven's yes is beginning to unfold, the timing will suddenly make sense. Chosen one. Your spiritual authority has increased. The battles you survived have upgraded your discernment, sharpened your intuition, and elevated your sensitivity to spiritual truth. You no longer fall for illusions that once deceived you. You no longer tolerate energies that once drained you. You no longer cling to environments that once diminished you. This kind of growth is not accidental, it is prophetic. It is the result of heaven training you in secret, developing you in silence, and preparing you away from the eyes of the world. When God elevates a person, He first builds the foundation within them. You are now standing on that foundation. Chosen one. This next part of your journey involves supernatural partnerships and connections. Heaven is bringing people into your life who are aligned with your purpose, not your past. These are individuals who will understand your calling without needing explanations, support your vision without questioning your motives, and walk with you without competing with you. This is the kind of alignment that only God can orchestrate. In my own life, the greatest breakthroughs I experienced came after God removed the wrong people and replaced them with the right ones. Expect this same divine rearrangement. The wrong will fall away, and the right will be magnetically drawn into your story. Chosen one. You are also stepping into a season of divine speed. What once took years will happen in months. What once required struggle will now require surrender. What once exhausted you will now flow with ease. Divine speed is not about rushing, it is about alignment. When heaven declares, now, the earth must obey. Your finances, your opportunities, your relationships, your creativity, your inspiration, all of these are entering a season of acceleration. I've lived through these moments when God moved so quickly that my only job was to keep up. Prepare yourself, because this is the rhythm of the season you are entering. Chosen one. The people who once opposed you will not be able to deny the favor rising on your life. They will watch doors open for you that were closed to them. They will watch opportunities chase you while they struggle to find theirs. They will watch your life accelerate while theirs stalls. This is not about pride, it is about divine contrast. When God elevates the chosen, He makes it visible. He does it in a way that reveals His sovereignty, His justice, and His protection over your life. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Your elevation will speak for you. Chosen one, perhaps the most beautiful part of this new season is that you are not entering it alone. Heaven is walking with you. Your angels are clearing the path. Your spirit is stronger. Your discernment is sharper. Your purpose is clearer. You have been prepared, refined, strengthened, and transformed for this exact moment. And in part 6, we will go deeper into what this elevation unlocks, not just for your life, but for the destiny of everyone who will be touched through you. Chosen one. As you step deeper into this realm of divine elevation, you must understand something crucial. Heaven is not simply handing you back what was taken. Heaven is releasing what was always yours, but had been delayed. This is why your spirit feels different. This is why the air around your life feels charged. Something has shifted permanently. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are rising into supernatural order. I've felt this shift before the moment when God whispered, "The warfare is over now. Watch me work." And now, heaven is whispering the same over you. Chosen one. The divine wealth transfer assigned to your name is already in motion. This is not just financial increase, this is spiritual authority turning into earthly manifestation. New clients, new ideas, new partnerships, new streams. These are not accidents, they are answers. They are heaven's response to every night you stayed faithful, every moment you chose integrity over convenience, every tear you prayed through. I've lived through seasons where I had nothing left but obedience, and obedience became the bridge to abundance. Heaven is building that same bridge beneath your feet. Chosen one. Your elevation is also unlocking your voice. Where you once felt overlooked or unheard, you will now find that your words carry influence. People will listen differently. Opportunities will respond differently. Rooms will shift when you enter, not because of ego, but because your spirit has weight now. You earned this authority in the battles you never spoke about. I've walked into conversations I once feared, only to realize the fear was a lie. The anointing had already gone before me. The same anointing is going before you. Chosen one. Heaven is sending you new connections, people who understand your calling, who don't envy your growth, who don't shrink from your light. These are destiny partners, divine helpers, spiritual allies. They will recognize you on a soul level because they were sent by the same kingdom you were born from. I've met people like this at the exact moment I needed them, and every time God reminded me, alignment attracts alignment. Get ready, the right people are on their way. Or chosen one. The emotional battles you once faced will no longer have the same power over you. The triggers, the doubts, the insecurities that once tried to sabotage you have lost their authority. The warfare built spiritual muscle in you that cannot be undone. You will notice that situations which once overwhelmed you now feel small. This is growth. This is maturity. This is spiritual elevation. I've had moments where I realized I wasn't reacting the way I used to, and heaven said, that is what victory feels like. You are entering that victory now, chosen one. Heaven is also restoring your clarity. The fog is lifting. The confusion is breaking. The ideas that once felt scattered are becoming structured. This is divine alignment. This is heaven bringing your mind, your spirit, and your purpose into rhythm. Every major shift in my life began with clarity. Once clarity came, everything else followed. Watch how quickly things move now that you can finally see. Chosen one. The attacks against you were never about who you were, they were about who you were becoming. The enemy fought your future because your future carries impact. But now that the interference has been dismantled, nothing can stop what heaven has ordained. And in part 7 we will explore how this elevation is not just transforming your journey, but activating a generational shift connected to your name. Chosen one, as heaven elevates you into this next dimension, something extraordinary is happening beneath the surface. Your life is becoming a generational turning point. You are not just rising for yourself, you are breaking patterns, cycles, and limitations that attach themselves to your bloodline long before you were born. You are the interruption. You are the reset. You are the one heaven chose to carry light into places where darkness once ruled. I've seen this in my own lineage. One obedient step from me shifted everything for those who came after. That is the kind of shift your life is triggering right now. Chosen one. The authority you carry is not accidental. You survived battles your ancestors could not overcome. You faced spiritual opposition that would have destroyed others. And yet here you stand, not perfect, but awakened. Not unscarred, but unbroken. Not empty, but filled with divine instruction. Heaven trusted you with this assignment because you have the resilience, the humility, and the spiritual hunger to carry it. Every pain you endured became training. Every disappointment became shaping. Every delay became preparation. Nothing was wasted. Chosen one. The influence rising on your life will touch people you will never meet. Through your decisions, your healing, your obedience, and your courage, heaven is rewriting futures. Children not yet born will walk in freedoms you fought for. Families connected to you will experience blessings that flow from your alignment. Opportunities will open for others because you dared to step forward when the enemy hoped you would shrink back. I've seen how one person's spiritual breakthrough can unlock generational momentum, and you are becoming that person. Chosen. One part of this generational shift involves clarity in your identity. You are no longer carrying shame that wasn't yours. You are no longer repeating patterns you never chose. You are no longer living under the emotional weight of what happened to you. Heaven is lifting those burdens because they were never part of your original design. You are returning to the version of yourself God wrote, the bold one, the wise one, the spiritually sensitive one, the resilient one. This restored identity is the foundation of your legacy. Chosen one, the blessing coming to you is not temporary, it is foundational. It will set the stage for long-term stability, long-term favor, long-term provision. This is why the warfare was so fierce. The enemy fought not just your present, but your lineage. But heaven has declared victory over your name. What begins with you will echo through generations. Chosen one, you are stepping into a chapter where your life becomes proof of God's faithfulness. And in Part 8, the final segment, we will reveal what heaven is positioning you to walk into next, the fullness of your destiny. Chosen one, as you enter this final movement of your elevation, heaven wants you to understand one powerful truth. You are no longer stepping toward destiny, you are stepping into it. The doors you once knocked on are now opening before you. The opportunities you once prayed for are now pursuing you. The blessings you once hoped for are now being placed in your hands. This isn't imagination. This isn't coincidence. This is divine fulfillment. I've lived through seasons where nothing made sense until suddenly everything aligned at once. That is the moment you are walking into right now. Chosen one, heaven is positioning you for visibility, not for ego, not for applause, but for assignment. Your story, your endurance, your faithfulness, and your transformation are about to speak louder than any explanation ever could. People will look at your life and see undeniable evidence that you are chosen, protected, and guided. Your glow will be impossible to hide. Your growth will be undeniable. Your favor will be unexplainable. And that's exactly how heaven wants it, so no one can take credit except the one who carried you. Chosen one. This next chapter is not about surviving, it is about building. You will build relationships rooted in truth. You will build opportunities that reflect your purpose. You will build wealth that outlives you. You will build a life that mirrors the blueprint heaven wrote over you. I've learned that when God transitions you from survival to creation, the entire rhythm of your life changes. You stop fighting for scraps and start receiving strategy. You stop begging for clarity and start walking in confidence. That shift is happening in you now. Chosen one. Your divine union, whether it has begun or is approaching, will unfold with ease in this season. Heaven is aligning hearts, healing wounds, and dissolving confusion. The warfare that once surrounded your connections is gone. This relationship carries purpose, and purpose cannot be delayed when the time is right. You will know it by the peace it brings, the growth it inspires, and the clarity it unlocks. Love for you will not be chaos, it will be confirmation. Chosen one. Your provision will also reflect the supernatural in this season. Expect unexpected income, restored opportunities, financial favor, and open doors that bypass human logic. Heaven is not giving you resources just to bless you. Heaven is resourcing your calling. This is why the enemy tried so hard to block your finances. But he failed. You cannot curse what God has blessed, and you cannot stop what God has funded. Chosen one, you are entering a season where your life becomes a testimony of endurance, a testimony of protection, a testimony of transformation, a testimony of divine justice. Your enemies will watch you rise. Your supporters will celebrate you, and heaven will keep elevating you. You survived the valley, now prepare for the mountaintop. Chosen one, this is the beginning of your fulfilled prophecy. Step forward. Walk boldly. Heaven is with you, and destiny is waiting. Chosen one. As this message comes to a close, breathe in the truth of where you now stand. You are not waiting for your breakthrough, you are standing in the doorway of it. Heaven has already shifted the atmosphere around your life. A divine transfer is in motion, and you have stepped into your Kairos moment, the exact appointed time written for you before the foundations of the earth. Chosen one, walk forward with reverence, knowing that the weapons once formed against you have shattered, and the blessings once delayed are accelerating toward you. Your name is rising in rooms you have not yet entered. Your provision is unfolding in ways you cannot yet see. Your destiny is aligning with precision. Nothing sent against you can stand in the presence of the anointing on your life. As you leave this video, may heaven seal you in clarity, courage, and divine confidence. May your steps be ordered. May your spirit remain sensitive. May your heart stay open to the instructions God is releasing. This is not the end of a battle. This is the beginning of your ascent. Chosen one, remain faithful. Stay aligned. Expect the supernatural. And if this word echoed in your spirit, share it, speak it, and let others awaken with you. For your story is becoming a testimony, your movement is becoming a breakthrough, and your life is becoming evidence that destiny always prevails. Go in power, anointed one. Your rise has already begun.